cry.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 263. 263 of the official Butthole Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about fantasy etiquette. That's fantasy 101 for the noobs. We're going to be giving you a little bit of call your shot on certain players. We're going to go over our yearly draft that we just completed and roast somebody that didn't do so well. Coming up.
Guilty.
Should have found this.
Play the old intro. Play the old one.
Oh, fuck yeah, I will. Which one? Mailbag?
Yeah, the old
Or now I can just... Nice job, high four.
One shot, one kill. Ronnie did.
Now introducing your Butthole Podcast. Scott, the Great Brandino, Gage's Rage, and Star Lamar.
What's up, girl?
I love the butthole.
Who doesn't love the butthole? Welcome in, everybody, to the official Butthole Podcast. And if you listen to Brandon before this sick-ass intro, you're in for one hell of a ride tonight with three of the four buds. Star passed away, so everybody, moment of silence.
That's enough.
Come on, yeah.
It was a good run, Star, but thank you very much. I'll be taking over the sup girl from here on out.
All right, let's hear it.
Sup girl.
It's just not the same.
Come on, let me take a little whiskey coke here.
There you go. That gets you into character.
Sup girl.
You need
It'll
a
work.
little more rasp.
It's my first one. It'll
Yeah.
get better.
Yeah.
For a stand-in.
All right. We're going to kick it off with Fantasy 101. Gage and I had a little bit of a conversation on
Correct.
Saturday about fantasy etiquette. Now, I have two scenarios. And now Scott takes the sunglasses off.
This might involve Scott.
He is serious. Well, it does involve Scott, but it's not like he did anything.
What do you know?
It's a roundabout way, okay?
Another
Yeah.
topic involving yours truly.
So first one, let's talk about trading.
Correct.
Now,
Trades.
earlier this offseason, Gage and I made a trade. We did it over the phone. We decided that we weren't going to disclose our trade until closer to draft time.
Which was a
In a
terrible
Dynasty
idea.
League, our rookie draft
So
is a week away.
Yep.
We waited until draft night.
To disclose it. One, is that wrong?
Okay, is the question, is it right or wrong, or does it follow the lines of etiquette? Because I believe that you said you're talking fantasy etiquette.
Etiquette.
Correct, yeah.
So, like, from a moral compass standpoint, I wouldn't say that it is wrong, honestly, on any
No.
on any line at all. Now, I would argue that in one person's interest, you'd be best off saying, "Hey, here's what I have on the table for my star player. Can anybody beat it?" But that's their prerogative. If they don't want to do that, that's on them.
Well, that comes to the second part of this equation where Gage and I made this deal. We had an agreement over the phone, a verbal handshake. We both agreed to it. Both said we're sticking to it. We're waiting for draft night to actually disclose the details. So the only thing we didn't do was put it online so it could be seen.
Correct.
Now, I got offered a better deal. Well, maybe arguably better. I got offered a different deal the next day, the very next day. Scott came at me with offers, which in some accounts could be better, in some accounts could be worse. I like how it turned out for me, but I got offered a different deal. We never hit submit online, but we agreed to terms. Is it wrong to go against that?
Okay, so Brandon's now saying if I were to go back on my word against Gage and make a deal that I thought was a better trade for me, I don't think it is, honestly. I don't think it is wrong if you were to decide, if you were to back out on the deal with Gage and take a deal that you think's a better deal. Now, there's a lot that goes into that. There's a verbal agreement. There's a handshake. I guess you'd say a virtual handshake,
Virtual
That's what we
handshake is-
agreed.
which I think does matter.
Yes.
I would agree.
But on the same side, like when you're trading a player, let's just disclose Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
When you're trading a player like that in a dynasty league, you're stupid not to get the most value you could possibly get. That's my opinion. But it all comes down to what you think an agreement is. And clearly Brandon had some sort of belief that an agreement between him and Gage meant more than the best offer that he could get.
Well, I think a man's handshake means something. And that's
There you
what we
go.
did. Outside,
100%
we
agree.
weren't together, but we both, we literally said virtual
I'm sticking
handshake.
my hand out
yeah.
right now. We're shaking hands
Yep,
on this.
and
deal.
I
Now,
stuck
who was
my
the
lower
person that
extremities
was-
out.
Now, who is the person that was driving this virtual handshake? Because I have a feeling it would be Gage's Rage.
I think we were both hesitant to make the deal, and it was, there was negotiations that happened it wasn't just that day. It was days.
Yeah, at
weeks.
least like 3 hours before that.
And
Jack.
I'll say that
at least.
I've kicked the tires on McCaffrey every year.
Oh yeah, there's been an interest from you ever since Brandon drafted him.
Yeah, for
so there's
3
been
seasons.
Constant interest, constantly checking up. It's not just been like, flinging.
It wasn't necessarily
Here's
out of the blue.
But while we're talking about this etiquette, another player like a very similar situation, running back with a lot of dynasty potential, and J.K. Dobbins is available for trade. And you had been making some groundwork before a mass text is sent out to the entire league. J.K. Dobbins is on the board. How does that make you feel, fantasy etiquette, on the board right now?
So here's what I'll say about that. 2 things. First of all, the talks between the J.K. Dobbins owner in the Dynasty League and me had been going on for like 5 days. And I actually told him to send that.
Okay.
The reason I told him is because I told him multiple
offer.
Times. Exactly. I said, you're not going to get a better offer.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the league. And I told him to do that multiple times before he finally did it. But the reason I told him to do that is because I was like, dude, nobody's going to offer you what I'm offering you. If you're going to trade Dobbins, which you're telling me you are, this is your best offer. So either you're going to trade him or you're not. Now, lo and behold, what I was offering was the best offer, but I've since rescinded the offer.
Oh, yeah.
And he got nervous and decided to pull back as well.
I just feel like if you're trading a player, it behooves you to at least, and I don't necessarily do it through the channel of the entire group chat, but I'll reach out to individuals and just say, like, what do you do you have any interest in this player? And if people don't, they don't. That's fine. But I just feel like it's in your best interest to at least ask. Now, when I'm big game hunting, it's a whole different story. If I'm big game hunting, I'm not going to go around and ask what somebody would give me for this package of players I'm trying to put together for this big name. I just throw my best offer, and that's that. It's on them to try and get the best offer they can get. Now,
you came to me and we discussed kind of what your offer was, what your team looked like, what your options would have been if you went forward with that. If you didn't, we just communicated you were looking for bouncing ideas off of me, how you thought. Now, would it have been wrong after he sends out a mass text for me to go after him?
Oh, after I talked to you openly about what I was offering? No, I think you, and now I know this wholeheartedly. When I go and talk to somebody about specific players, first of all, I know that could end up biting me in the ass, which at the time I didn't care because I felt like I could actually go a little bit more than what I was offering, and I was willing to go a little bit more. But 2, that's like right where you want to be. When somebody asks you, hey, this player is available, text me if you want him. Well, Brandon now knows that there's at least one offer on the table, and it's up to Brandon to decide whether he thinks it's strong enough for him to back off or weak enough where Brandon could beat it. I don't know. If for instance, what you're asking me is if you put a stronger offer and Darren took it, would I be mad? No.
It doesn't break fantasy etiquette.
Because
I would agree with that.
It's twofold. One, I'm just running the idea by Brandon in the instance hypothetically. Like nothing ended up happening. The deal between me and Darren, specifically with the players that I talked to Brandon about, would have been a done deal before Brandon would have had to text Darren right after we got off the phone. But like I said, I was confident enough in my offer to where I don't think Brandon was going to offer what I offered. And quite honestly, I don't think you could have without giving up players you weren't willing to give up.
Probably.
So there's many layers to it. Now, I did talk to more than just Brandon about the trade. Multiple people knew what I had on the table. Nobody thought they could beat it. So I told Darren, go ask the league.
And I think that's what it gets to. Everyone's trying to do the same thing, win the fantasy football.
Now, if I were to talk to Brandon about it and I were to say specifically like, hey, this is what I'm offering, please don't go and try and up it or anything, but can I please talk to you about this? And Brandon would have said, yeah, sure. Like run it by me. I won't beat it. Then it's a whole different animal. At that point, I feel like, yeah, Brandon I wouldn't say can't get in and try and trade with Darren, but he should at least then circle back to me and be like, hey, is it cool if I inquire about Dobbins? And I'd be like, yeah, go for it. Because Gage and I had that talk regarding C-Mac. Gage and I talked, and I was like, if you're going after C-Mac, I'll back off.
You did too.
And so then I let it get to like Wednesday afternoon. I let it get to like Wednesday afternoon, and I threw a hypothetical trade out to Brandon that hypothetically it would have value-wise it beat yours. Now it all comes down to Brandon, who he really wants and who he doesn't want.
Yep.
But the deal had already been made between you guys at that point. I didn't know that, but I also didn't really push Brandon on it. I was just
Yeah.
like, dude, this is a strong offer. It's what I got.
Well, there you
So-
have it.
Yeah, long story short, there's a lot of things that go into the fantasy etiquette, but at the end of the day, it's all about, I mean, fantasy football can be a backstabbing type sport. There's
Absolutely.
it
fucking under the
also-
table deals that are made, especially when you're talking dynasty, and people get really weird about them. Like in dynasty leagues, if you have a couple people that are bad, I will call them bad apples in the bag.
Yeah.
They're the ones that'll fucking throw a huge wrench in an operation when a trade's been made because they feel like, oh, why didn't you offer it to the entire league? In my opinion, you're not obligated to as an owner, but it's in your best interest to.
I would say it depends on who you're with. If you're with, like you said, bad apples, it's a league that maybe you're not enjoying that much, or you're getting screwed. You're seeing a lot of maybe collusion or whatever's going on, but you have money invested and you're not going to back out. Or maybe you just don't like the people. Maybe they've stabbed you in the back multiple times. Maybe you go against it a little bit. But if you're with your buds, you're in a league that you enjoy, there are certain etiquette things that you'll follow. Each one is going to be a little bit different per league. I've heard of leagues where, and they've honestly sounded kind of fun, like they're almost like backstabbing leagues. You do literally anything you want to try and win that championship, whether it's logging onto your buddy's computer
Oh my gosh.
to try and trade yourself a player. Like you do at all costs, you would go and you would try and win. And that it's a sneaky kind of like, oh my God, you fucker.
Yeah.
Like that type of stuff. But that one maybe would be fun to at least try, but also depends on who you're doing it with. That's a
Yeah.
whole different ballgame.
Yeah. Ultimately,
You haven't heard of that before?
Criminy. No.
Oh,
No. Why did that one not come up on the Fantasy 101 league types?
I don't know. I'm bringing it up now.
honestly, like at the end of the day in that league, you better have a fucking strong password.
No, you better have a rotation that you're changing fucking weekly or
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, almost all the time.
some of the I'm not at the fucking courtesy to just be at a computer at all times of the day. Scott could just be sitting there fucking guessing every one of my 7 passwords. And then he hacks
Your
my whole life.
3
He's like,
passwords.
"You're trading me Christian McCaffrey, or I'm charging your credit card to the max."
I will throw this $500 hand of blackjack down.
I heard
motherfucker.
you just wanted to
You're like, oh,
get
fucking.
into Pokemon collecting.
Oh, that 500 cash in your pocket? Yep, that's gone.
You want 10,000 dittos? 50 cents a pop, bud?
Bitch.
Shit, I'll make the trade.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a little cutthroat for me personally, but I love backstabbing. Like in fantasy leagues, dude.
What?
I
You do?
Oh yeah,
No way.
yeah.
You wouldn't have like a yearly bet and then just like totally fuck over an owner that never wants to play with you again.
Yeah, he like literally is out of the league now because he's like, hey,
Whoa,
Scott
that's
took-
not a backstab.
Scott
that
took
was two
complete
honest men
He
advantage.
making an
backstabbed all
agreement.
3 of us.
Yeah,
That's two honest
that's
men making
that's
an
against
agreement.
fantasy etiquette.
Absolutely not. When 2 men agree to a trade and execute said trade, it's not a backstab.
The butthole does not endorse trade sexual assaults.
We shouldn't
Noted.
fucking endorse any sexual assaults.
Well, we
Gage.
don't.
No,
but,
we
like,
don't.
Trade.
Specifically
we don't.
trade
I
ones.
just want to go one level higher here.
It just
say
it
we don't
normally
endorse
would
any
just
of
be
it.
trade assaults, but Scott's involved and he gets a little pleasure from trades, so we have to add the sexual part.
A lot.
I do not get a little pleasure.
A
from
lot.
trades.
Yeah, he gets a lot.
6 to midnight.
It keeps my ticker going.
I literally asked you about trading Justin Jefferson in our dynasty league. You're like, untradeable. 2 days later, what would you offer me for Justin Jefferson? Hypothetically. I'm like,
Well, I was just
not
curious
responding.
for somebody that's so interested. Like, what would you even
I'm
offer?
not that interested. I just like fucking with you. Oh, is it
Hey,
would you
I
trade
know-
this guy?
You're
I got Michael
interested.
Thomas. What do you want to offer me?
You are interested enough to at least inquire. That's what intrigues me.
I have him in other leagues. I just like having a minimum of players.
That is for sure. I've seen the way you draft. Mock drafts, regular drafts, guillotine
Every
drafts.
draft,
Doesn't matter.
I got my guys.
No
I'm
matter the
sticking with them.
style. It's same
Gage is
thing.
either going to win the maximum amount of dollars he could win based on
Or
what
zero.
season or lose it all.
or nothing. Absolutely.
And you know
nothing.
what? I can respect it. I don't agree with it, but I can respect it.
Yeah.
God damn
Meanwhile,
it, I
Scott's
respect
rooting
you.
for the entire Vikings team, all of the Titans team. I mean, fuck.
I don't have anybody besides Henry.
You have the whole Chargers roster on your team. I'm surprised you didn't take Jared Cook and Mike Evans. and Jalen Guyton.
Someone reached for Cook. I was going to take him.
Or yeah,
Oh, Palmer is a really good receiver too. He's a young guy.
I think he got a touchdown
I am
this week.
interested in
Did
the
he?
Friends
think so.
League. Why you did that?
I wasn't thinking about it.
Was it literally an accident?
Literally, I wish Herbert wasn't my pick and I had taken Hawkinson there.
Let's talk then.
Fantasy 101. Think ahead.
But you have Hawk?
No,
Oh.
I'm just saying let's talk because I don't love my team either. And quite honestly,
Well, no,
hate my
I
team.
love going all in on the Chargers. I'm going to see them live. It all makes sense to me. So I'll roll with it.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. A bad week is a bad week for Gage. Let's run into a little bit. Do we still have that? We'll do call your shot. Who's going to finish higher this season? We'll start out.
Hey, this is a new game, all right? You
It
can't
is a
just
new
roll
game.
into it like that.
Okay, this is call your shot. What we are going to do is I'm going to ask you a question, and we're all going to answer.
I love this.
Great idea.
There
All
we
right,
go.
let's
All
with
right,
it.
call your shot. Who do you think is going to finish higher, Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston? Who is going to start week 1? I didn't read the question. Who's going to start week 1?
This is not call your shot. These are just news around the NFL.
What the dude? I thought I told you to make good banners.
I think it's honestly Jameis Winston
All right.
because
Hold on.
Get rid of
Call your shot. CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper. PPR full year.
old reliable or the new shiny toy.
Give me CD's nuts.
Yeah, dude, I'm in on CD's nuts for sure. I don't think Amari Cooper is going to have a bad season, but I think CD Lamb is in for a very good season. I'll take it
Prime.
one step farther. I think of the sophomore wideouts, he has the most fantasy points this season, and that includes Justin Jefferson. I think CD Lamb has more fantasy points than Justin Jefferson does this year.
Yeah.
It's not a step further. I agree with that, and that's how my rankings shook out.
You didn't have CD higher.
I sure did.
What'd you have him at?
I think like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he had him way high.
I thought you had him at like 9. Or maybe
No,
I had him at
really
9.
think he
We'd
could
have,
be a top 5 guy with Dak in a full season.
it's just when you got Amari Cooper there, another guy, pretty
It's
good.
just another guy who's not that good.
Amari Cooper's pretty good. He's had solid fantasy years, at least the last 3 seasons, and he had a couple good ones with Oakland. He had a little bit of a down stretch, and that's why he got traded. But with Dak, he was very good, very productive
Dude, Amari Cooper is fucking solid. He's a top 20 guy every year.
every year.
Some years
I
top
never
10.
get him.
Well, he's not, like I said, he's not sexy.
38 and then 7.
He's not, no, he
He's
doesn't
not
do
that.
that.
You'd have to look that up. That was,
Speaking of, you know what I heard from the great people from Fantasy Football Weekly on Saturday?
no,
What, Tyreek Hill or what?
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that.
Great. They come at it with great analytics, right? Tyreek Hill has only had in the past, I want to say, I think they said the last 3 seasons, 2 what would be considered 2 dud games. And you want to know how many times he's finished as wide receiver 1?
How many?
10,
Not that many.
15.
Wait, being
14.
a wide receiver 1
14.
or
The
wide
wide
receiver
receiver
Overall,
one?
wide receiver 1 for the week. 14, and he's had 2 dud games in
Over
the
how
last
many
3
years? 3 years?
3 years.
Wow.
Well, that's Tyreek Hill for you. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, we weren't talking Tyreek Hill. We were talking CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb as well, but I do really like Amari Cooper.
It's kind of honestly about what your team is like.
Yeah, if you have Amari Cooper on it, you're going to say Amari Cooper.
No. What I'm
No?
saying is,
Oh, okay.
if you already have a lot of question marks, Amari Cooper is a safe bet. CeeDee Lamb's going to blow the doors off the place. I personally love the fucking high ceiling guys, so give me CeeDee Lamb. And let's not pretend like CeeDee Lamb's floor is really low either. He was pretty good as a rookie last year with a bad
Yeah.
quarterback situation.
Totally agree.
So CeeDee Lamb, I think Amari Cooper's out of Dallas after this year.
I agree with that as
I think
well.
Gage called his shot on that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, with Michael Gallup and
Scott does listen.
As Star Lamar says, don't get high on your
Coop-
own supply.
B-
But-
All right.
The late great Star Lamar.
Late great. Number 2, Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods?
Call your shot.
Who you picking?
It's hard to go against Robert
Full
Woods.
season.
The durability of Robert Woods. It's not like he's a bad wide receiver. He's finished top 15, I think, in the last 3-4 years.
He's
Yeah,
he's been consistent on catches, receptions. The only thing that varied was touchdowns, but not that much.
I think best case scenario for Cooper Kupp, he finishes a couple spots higher. And worst case, he gets hurt again. And Robert Woods is still a top 15 wideout. Give me Robert Woods.
I'm hard on Woods.
I'm gonna go against the grain here. Going against the wood
You're
grain.
taking
and I'm
Tutu Atwell.
taking Mr. Cooper Kupp. I like him. I think with Stafford, he'll pair a little bit better than Robert Woods will. I think that early chemistry is going to carry him to a better season overall. Who knows what the fuck I know, though?
Sometimes
I know what the
you
fuck
don't
you
even
Just
know what you know.
You don't know shit.
What do you
Fuck,
guys
Scott,
think
too.
about Tutu Atwell?
I'm a fan. I think he is. I think that the size concern is for real though. He's very small, and
Yeah.
Tiny.
he took a couple big shots. He went over to the sideline for a little bit.
He's already
in that
got a back
preseason
injury.
Game. Yeah,
Well,
Fuckers.
dude, the last preseason game, I
160
think he had
pounds.
13 targets and 10 receptions. I mean, he
but
even
I
if he
don't.
was a little hurt, he was dominating in the preseason game.
He's no joke though. Like he's gonna have a role on the team. It's just a question of if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
I
In
think
the
it's,
NFL, I don't think that frame will hold up.
I think it's worth a shot on Tutu at the end of the draft.
Where is he in their dynasty leagues? He available?
I doubt
I
it.
think he was on my team for a little bit.
He's got to be available.
He might still be. I might have just dropped him, but I think he's on my team, on my roster. I literally might have just dropped him.
Well, I'm gonna call my shot right here. If he's available, I'm rostering him.
For a couple days until
yeah,
you
until
drop
we
him.
drop him
Yeah.
before the season starts.
All right. The last
He
one
is
here
not.
on a team.
He's not available.
Gotcha.
Check
Last
out-
one here, Chris Godwin
He just
or
ran.
Mike Evans.
I'll run with this one. It's Godwin all day.
Same. Give me Godwin.
Low, very low ceiling, but also the highest floor. Feel like he's always going to be involved with that team. He's going to have 7 for 80, 15 points a week. Evans will have some good weeks. He'll also have some duds under 10.
Yeah, I think Godwin's ceiling is as high as Evans, and his floor is lower. His floor is higher as well. I like Chris Godwin. You got to remember, Chris Godwin was hurt all year last year, and he still had a pretty nice season. The year before
Yeah.
that, he was a top 5 wideout.
How much does Antonio Brown concern you?
He doesn't.
Not at all.
He's one more fucking altercation away from being suspended a couple games. Like he's just
What?
a disaster of a
He
person.
really is. To punch the guy in practice, I just don't get it.
To me, the bigger concern for Evans is Gronk. I think Gronk takes
Red zone
a bunch
touches?
of red zone touches away from him.
And let's not forget too, Tampa Bay's wide receiver depth is pretty good. They have Tyler Johnson who showed a pulse last year. Jalen Darden's been showing out in
Scotty
camp.
Miller.
Scotty Miller's a real wide receiver. Like I really don't know why the Bucks even fuck around with Antonio Brown, other than Brady wants him.
Which is all the reason you need.
I guess.
Yeah.
But like
Brady
it's
wants
not
something, you're
worth-
going to get it to
It's
him.
not worth
Yeah.
the headache. They have other options.
Maybe he's not being a headache in Florida with fucking Tom Brady.
He literally just punched a guy in a joint training camp.
He's literally being a headache as we speak,
Let's show some fire, man.
It shows undiscipline, is what it shows.
which has
I
been
just-
Antonio Brown
Yeah.
over the last like 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't follow his track record of. We made a skit. We
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
skit in your old
we
basement.
gotta add up to it, I guess.
Yeah, and
It's on
no
YouTube.
shit.
To go look it up. That's
Yeah,
some
go-
OG butthole shit.
Go check it out.
OSWGs.
All right, now just some headlines. Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. Who's
It's
going to
Jameis-
start week 1?
It's Jameis Winston, and the reason is
Why?
because then Sean Payton can play Taysom Hill whenever he wants.
You're fucked if you think that you're gonna take your starting quarterback and put your backup quarterback on the field at the same time.
He did it all the time with Drew Brees.
Yeah, when you had a fucking backup that wasn't Taysom Hill.
What?
Hill is the starter without a doubt. And
There's-
Winston is the backup.
There's enough doubt for Payton to say that he's not making his decision till Saturday. Like he doesn't know for sure.
I think they
I think
go.
he's playing around the bush.
If I would say they're going to go Jameis Winston.
The Reggie Bush. Why?
I think Winston is 2 years removed from a 5,000 passing yard season and 30 touchdowns. Now there was 30 interceptions along with that, but if he can fix that, is Taysom Hill ever going to be able to get you 5,000 passing yards and 30 touchdowns?
No.
I don't think so.
Maybe 30 combined, 15 rushing, 15 passing.
Maybe,
Maybe. But
Maybe 30 rushing.
fuck no. How many running backs have rushed for 30 touchdowns in a single
One.
season?
with Daniel Tomlinson.
Twice.
Maybe 2. Priest Holmes might have got.
I don't even know if Tomlinson was 30.
I think he got
was
30.
like
He had
28.
I think it was 31 total touchdowns,
Yeah.
but that included receiving. So
Hmm.
it might not even be any.
Jameis
That
Winston.
was dumb.
I don't know.
It's Hill. It's
They-
Hill, man.
They can bring Hill in whenever they want to. I think they're both going to play a role.
I think they will.
Hill
too.
is going to have his opportunities to catch. He's going to have his, opportunities to get like little swing runs to pass the ball. He's going to be in there. They're going to have wildcat plays on the goal line for him. I think Winston's going to be their main starter.
All right.
At least
You
if
guys
you
want
don't.
a butthole bet this one? Week 1 starter?
Well,
10 each?
no, we should put it this way, because this is really the way it should be. Is not who takes the field first, but who plays the most snaps at quarterback week 1. Because you could easily have a situation where Taysom Hill plays the first snap as a quarterback, and then Winston comes into the game and plays mostly at the position.
Yeah, start is only determined by who takes that first snap.
So who
you're
gets the
saying
most?
You don't want to bet.
Who gets the most week 1 snaps as a quarterback for the Saints?
The question says who starts week 1, and I said Hill. You guys both said Winston.
Yeah, and I'm not
I
confident enough
offered
to
you
bet
a
it.
bet,
No.
and neither of you took it. So
I think it's going to be
So
Winston.
if you think it's going to be that, why don't you say you think it's going to be Hill? But Winston will get more snaps.
Because that doesn't necessarily make that true.
Because I made this.
It is true. Who's the starter?
I made this proclamation under the assumption that Winston would be their quarterback. It's very real that Hill could get the first series.
Boxed.
No, I'm serious. I think Winston's going to be playing quarterback for the Saints as their main quarterback until he proves that he can't do it.
Preseason week 2.
And if you look at the Saints' weapons, it could very well be into the second quarter of the first game that Taysom Hill becomes the quarterback. If you don't think that Sean Payton has a plan to make this work to the best of its ability, though, you guys are crazy.
And that's with Hill, not Winston.
We'll see.
It's with both.
Get the
It's
next
with
one.
both. All right, next one. We have, when does Trey Lance get his first NFL start?
Ooh.
I have a very strong opinion on this.
You think week 1?
It's going to be week 1. Trey Lance is going to be the starting quarterback for San Francisco, and Trey Lance is going to be the rookie of the year as well in the NFL.
That is just nuts. We do have a guy in the comments, Ernie. What's up, bud? With the BCMG, he's saying week 4. I think it's going to be the first week after their bye. Yeah, I don't know when their bye is, but week after their bye.
I just think when you have a quarterback like him that shows promise, and he's clearly more of an X factor than Garoppolo is, run him out there, start getting snaps under him. If I'm not mistaken, the Niners' beginning of their schedule is pretty good for a rookie. I think it goes in no particular order.
It goes Detroit.
Okay, Detroit, Philly, and then it's Green Bay. Those are all 3 games that a young quarterback could really flourish.
He does have 2 tougher games after that. Week 4 is divisional, Seahawks. Week 5 is going to be divisional, Arizona.
And then it's their bye. And then they play Indy out of the bye, Chicago, and Arizona.
The second half of this year doesn't get that much easier than the first. They have a couple of games mixed in there that are going to be a little bit easier, possibly, like the Jaguars. You assume that's going to be a little bit easier. The Bengals might be a little bit easier. The Falcons, they have the Texans at the end of the year. So they have a couple of games mixed in there that might be a little bit easier. But I think if you're going to get your guy going and you want to start him out the best, he's been showing up in the preseason games. He's had a few, mishaps there as well, but he's been playing better in camp as far as it goes for completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, rushing, everything. He's outperforming Jimmy Garoppolo. There's really not a huge reason not to play him.
There's one huge reason. Jimmy G brought them to the championship game.
No, he did not.
Yesterday,
he was part of the team that went to the championship
yesterday game. Doesn't matter right now. And even to that, he is a big reason they lost that Super Bowl. He didn't do anything in the NFC Championship game. It was all rushing. It was all Raheem Mostert.
He didn't do anything against the Vikings in the week before that.
He didn't lose it.
He handed the ball off.
He didn't lose it.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not.
That's a completely different story. Not losing and winning those games, he lost it for him in the Super Bowl. He missed a wide open Emmanuel Sanders, and he missed it.
You had the chance.
It was a wide open wide receiver down
wide
open on a streak route that easily wins that game for San Francisco.
To me, I think you give him the start. I think you go week 1.
You don't trade all the pieces the Niners traded for a quarterback like Trey Lance and then come into camp and see him playing like he's ready to ball and sit him on the bench. You just don't do it.
All right.
Trey Lance, okay. Kellen Mond for the Vikings looks in over his skis. The game's moving very fast for him. He's not making good reads on the playing field. Like, he looks like a rookie, and he should look like a rookie. He's a rookie. Trey Lance threw an interception in last night's game and came back and threw 2 touchdowns that were fucking bullets. Like, he showed the ability to bounce back.
But he's throwing against twos. He's not playing against
So is Kellen Mond.
No, I understand that, but I'm
I
just
hear
saying,
what you're saying.
Trey Lance is showing, hey, I can make the reads, I can make the throws, I can bounce back after an interception. He clearly has mobility, which Jimmy Garoppolo does not have.
Yeah.
Like, Throw him out there and let's fucking go. If you end up losing a couple games in the first 6 weeks because you have a rookie playing quarterback, it's only going to end up being better for you down the stretch. Trey Lance has the X factor, which can win you a game in the playoffs. If your team doesn't show up, Jimmy Garoppolo will not do that.
I feel like the same stuff was being said about Jamarcus Russell and Marcus Mariota.
Jamarcus Russell never showed in a game what Trey Lance has showed.
In
Ever.
the NFL.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
So you got to remember,
I love it.
You did say that after their bye week, which is still early. So you have some level of
No, I just
interest
think
in the guy.
Garoppolo will drop it and then they'll give it away.
Okay.
It's
Bye
not gonna
week
be
is
Lance's
the
to take.
well, I think Lance is going to take it.
Yeah, he'll take
Who
it
do you
eventually.
think? Who do you think starts in week 3? Do you think Garoppolo gets any playing time in week 3? Do you think it's still going to be like 50% in their next game here? Preseason. I'm saying.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, I don't think they play the starters at all.
So Trey
So
Lance will be on
Garoppolo's
the
out.
bench. Garoppolo's going to be
Trey Lance
starting
gets
the
the full
game.
game.
I think they're in a situation where they still have to play both. They don't. I don't think they fully have their answer. I think they know what they should do. I think they're still relying on Garoppolo a little bit. They like that he's a veteran, that he's been there before, that he's more of a guy that isn't necessarily going to make the big mistakes, but he's also not going to make the big plays to win the game.
If they come out in this next preseason game and Lance takes the field with the ones, the place is going to erupt. Fucking erupt. And honestly, he's played good enough to where he should. He should take the field with the ones. And I don't mean like
That's a good point.
I don't mean that all your top players, Kittle should not play. Your top players, they still shouldn't
Raheem
play.
Mostert.
But you should put him out there with the best talent that you're willing to put on the field and just see what Trey Lance does. And Garoppolo should sit. Absolutely, Garoppolo should sit. He should not play.
He would be the one that should, just because you know what he's got.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, you have to still see everything, where Garoppolo, he is what he is at this point.
Yeah. And let's not pretend like you can win a lot of football games if you stay healthy and you have Garoppolo as your starting quarterback. You can win a lot of football games.
Mhm.
But the Niners didn't trade what they traded for Lance because they're just interested in winning a lot of football games. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. And a guy like Trey Lance has, I mean, with his intangibles, he could be a guy that could win you a Super Bowl.
I think it's a diamond in the rough that's thrown into it week 1, first season, and comes out to actually win Super Bowls. You know,
That's completely fair. Most quarterbacks that are even drafted in the top 5 spots,
not
they don't end up having great success. One that did was Peyton Manning, and he's
Yep.
like the only one.
Well, Eli.
Andrew Luck had a lot of success.
Eli
but
did too, yeah. But Andrew Luck,
When you're talking
Washed out.
success, are you talking?
we're talking like
Super
Super
Bowl?
Bowls, yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's
the
the Mannings.
last 2 were the Mannings.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
Luck, I think with enough time could have won a Super Bowl. He definitely had the skill. He showed the persistence to stay in the pocket. He always got beat up like a fucking rag doll and still came out and played the same football week in and week out. But he had enough of it.
And he never had a great team around him.
No.
Yeah.
Like you look at Joe Burrow right now. Joe Burrow's in a situation where his team's not a playoff contender this year.
And if he's getting beat up and he tears another, gets injured seriously again, your career is at stake.
Yeah.
Well, it's altered,
Mhm.
majorly altered. If he sustains another like ACL or something like that, I mean, he's got slight mobility, or he has mobility, not like Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, but he's got mobility to get out of the pocket and move. With another, if he got injured, yeah, I'd be put a big damper on his career. Let's hope that doesn't happen. All right, last one. The favorite. I'm sure
Ooh.
we're all going to agree because we're very agreeable people.
I love this question though.
Which rookie has the best fantasy season this year? PPR.
On the cusp of the NFL season kicking off, we're 3 weeks away.
They're actually
2 weeks away.
17 days away from kickoff. 20 days for Sunday football, 17 for Thursday night.
17 days from quite literally, for a man at the age of 27 years old, the best fucking day of his entire year is NFL football night 1. Because
no, not
you
night
know-
one, not night one.
Thursday night, baby, let's go.
No, it's Sunday noon.
Are we,
No.
getting, are we getting together Thursday night? You gonna
I would
drink
love
some-
to.
drink some beers. We'll
I
take
would
Friday
love
off.
to.
fuck it.
I'll fucking do it. I don't give a shit.
Wait. Are you gonna say you're gonna be there and
Yeah.
take Friday off? And
Shut
then
up.
Actually show up,
Absolutely.
and not drink at all, and then show up for work on Friday. And
Yeah.
We'll
that's good.
That's
your
how I
move.
roll, dude.
I know.
we'll all take Friday off, and then Scott will be like, "Sorry guys, I can't make
I
it."
gotta work.
Yeah.
Just you guys already know what I'm gonna do. Don't take Friday off.
This will be
Undercut my game.
Thursday evening. He'll tell us.
Halftime, man, that was a good half.
By the
Well,
way,
I'm
I
outta
gotta
here.
go. I gotta get some sleep before work tomorrow.
What? What? Hey, in my defense, I fucking covered the entire draft that night before I went home. Nobody wanted to watch Butthole After Dark play fucking whatever you guys, whatever.
We
They
That's a whole
love
argument.
that. The people loved
we
that.
had a lot of interest in that.
And
A
then
lot.
where was I going with this?
We
Oh,
don't know.
the rookie part.
Thousands.
Oh,
The rookie with the best season is going to be Trey
Tens.
Lance.
12s. Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is going
you're
to have
nuts.
I am
He's
nuts.
not even gonna start 10, 15 games.
All right.
Yeah,
see.
17 maybe. I'm
Now,
gonna
I'm
go-
very biased in saying that,
Yeah, you have him in every fucking fantasy league you're in.
a lot of shares.
but it doesn't change the fact that I would not have drafted him if I didn't think he was going to have a big time year. Trey Lance.
Or maybe you're swirling and you're over your head and he's your last fucking rafter to save your season.
He's a
If
little
we're already
buoy.
at that point, 17 days before the season starts, woo!
Gonna have a rough year.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
I
really fun.
am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Najee Harris. He's gonna have
Damn
the
it.
workload.
He's not biased at all.
It's not even biased.
No,
He's
it's
a
a good-
running back.
It's a consensus pick.
Yeah, Najee Harris is going to be the guy. He's going to get the catches out of the backfield. He's going to rush the ball a shit ton. Even with a bad offensive line, he's going to get the workload to be the top rookie.
I'm gonna go out of the pocket here. I'm taking Jets quarterback Zach Wilson. I don't know why.
Are you
I think they're
fucking
gonna be
nuts?
down a piss load. He's gonna throw a lot. And who's the wide receiver they just got?
Yeah, Elijah
Corey
Moore.
Davis.
Corey Davis.
Oh, I thought you were talking the Rook.
He could be pretty good.
I think
Yeah.
Elijah Moore's sitting on a nice season.
Moore might be in for a good one too, but I think it's Davis.
He
his
really
first.
liked Davis in this last preseason game.
What do you have, like 10 catches or 10 targets?
No, yeah,
7 catches?
maybe targets. I think he was 5 for 70, something like
I
that.
think he got a few more after that.
Mm,
I think he was like 7 for 80 in the score or 7 for 80. He hit a lot.
I haven't pulled it up yet. I would take the bet on the under fantasy points.
So,
What,
do we want to
15?
roast my roster really
No, no,
quick in
no.
the Friends League before
Uh,
we sign off,
I think
Should
we
we-
should roast everyone's.
or should we do that in the?
Let's do it in
next
the let's do it in the next one. We want something for the people to look forward to. Corey Davis 4 for 70 on 6 targets.
Well, shows what I know. Fuck.
But NFL also. Okay, Gage's Rage of the Week.
So we had our friends draft last night, and we're trying to figure out the date like every league does, a group chat that doesn't go anywhere. And then we're trying to figure out, all right, boys, do we want to make any changes to this league? Do we want to maybe update the streaming platform and go with a newer, more streamlined app that works just a lot better than NFL Fantasy app?
What?
And we're with a bunch
NFL
of
is the best.
the app for the home for fantasy.
It's the best.
It blows my fucking mind how horrible that operating system is.
Awful.
Like, you're in a snake draft. So that means you have pick 5 in the first round, and then in the second round, you have pick 8 in a 12-man league. 5 this way, 8 that way. But for some fucking reason, the draft board on NFL Fantasy app doesn't line up so my whole team is one single fucking column. It switches every fucking round. So not only do I get confused on who I have on my own team without changing tabs and completely leaving the fucking draft, all the while these dumb motherfuckers are spending hundreds of text messages about how fucking shitty their team already is in the 5th round.
I did say that. That was not me.
And
I did.
I'm trying
Don't
to
throw
scroll
me in that
around
category.
through
And
this
I will.
shit fucking board to see, all right, I got 12 picks or 13, 14 picks until my next pick. I want to make sure I take a reasonable guy. If these guys all have wide receivers, I'm going to take a fucking running back because there's probably going to be a run on some of these guys coming up. Or I can't fucking do that in 2 minutes when the draft board is designed like shit. I don't know who drafted what. So I draft fucking Justin Herbert instead of the Hawkinson I really fucking wanted. And everyone in front of me has fucking quarterbacks. Herbert still would have been there the next fucking round, but I didn't fucking know that because I was trying to scroll back and forth and see who What a shit fucking app.
It's terrible. It's terrible. When you're looking at Sleeper, and we've done plenty of mock drafts on Sleeper. If you guys haven't checked them out, go
They're
on
epic.
YouTube. Check them out.
It's literally like a 2-year-old fucking company, and they have put together. We've
Far
done
better.
mock drafts on our podcast. Go to YouTube and check it out with Sleeper. They have put together a much more intuitive system than NFL could ever fucking dream of putting together. And this is supposed to be what NFL does. Sleeper does baseball, basketball, hockey. For all I know, they fucking do horse racing, Little League World Series. It doesn't matter. They beat NFL at the NFL. It's fucking crazy.
The way your draft board should look is you're let's say you're pick 12. You
Fuck.
go all the
I
way
hate
across.
NFL.
Then it should be 201. Show your pick. Go all the way, snake back, 312, 401. It should be so your team is in a vertical line.
Yeah.
It should not be boom, 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 boom. You can't find your roster. I didn't even know who I had on my team, and it was easy for me. I was 12. I could look left and right. You guys had to search in the middle. I'm trying to figure out who's on your team. And to top it off, Star Lamar's team is Scott Melgren. And I didn't know who I was looking at.
Oh, imagine not only being with Star and Scott on one side of you, but Star's team name is Scott Melgren.
So he's on both sides.
I'm literally trapped between two guys I podcast with and know every fucking fantasy tip I ever gave, ever. And then on top of it all, one of them is sharing the same fucking name as the other one. Oh my God.
But in your defense, well, I guess it's to your credit. I am so inept at drafting that I fucked it up anyways. And you had plenty of good options.
Stop.
I
got sniped a handful of times. I sniped you once or twice.
You
went both
fucked
ways.
me over a couple times. But I will say this.
You had a tough spot.
Dude, I felt like I feel like you handpicked it. You had picked 12. I am in the fucking stink hole at 5, pinched between Scott and Star.
Yeah, but
It
4
could
is
have got worse.
4 is the semi stink hole, though.
No, 5 is the worst spot.
No,
to be.
5 is
Five
the
is-
stink hole for sure.
The
It's
stink
the
hole starts at
shittiest
5.
spot.
Yeah.
It's by far the worst because at 5 there's 4 players that are without a doubt the top 4, especially in a 0.5 PPR. C-Mac, Cook, Kamara, Henry. No particular order. I would have really loved Cook to fall to 4, but it didn't happen. So then,
Not when you're
That's a
drafting against.
Minnesota
Yeah, exactly.
draft.
so we don now the semi stink hole. 4 is the semi stink hole.
No.
And so then you get the 5, which is the true stink hole. At 5, you have to
Chubb,
pick one of like 12
Zeke.
guys.
Yeah.
And
they're all the same.
they're all the same. And you got to pick one of the 12 that
You
he
just
has
like
to
the
be the
most.
best value because you're picking in the stink hole. You have no choice. So then you select at 5, whoever you pick. I think you took Eckler. Which
Eckler.
He's one of the 12. He might fucking work out. He might not. Who knows? But then not only that, but now you have to wait all the way back until pick 20 before you get another shot at another player that might be a decent player.
Yeah.
But then he might not. Because you know why he might not? Because you're in the stink hole.
It was miserable. I got sniped a lot. I still got guys I'm a fan of.
This
we
was
I
by
got damn near the whole
far.
Chargers offense.
This was by
Damn
far the worst draft I've ever been a part of on so many levels. My drafting ability was top of the list. Number 2 was the interface of the website. Like it was just the worst all around. Absolute worst draft experience I've ever had. And it's all because of you, NFL. Thank you so much.
You guys are
You're the
great.
worst.
I saw a tweet today asking like if you were going to do a new league, which platform would you use? And it listed off like Sleeper, My Fantasy League, another one I hadn't heard of, and then it gave a list of options above that. So it wasn't something you could pick in the poll, but it was something you could write in the comments. NFL wasn't one of them. Smart man. It had ESPN, it had Yahoo, it had like 3 different things I had never heard of before. I'm looking on NFL.com right now. It does not have stats for Zach Wilson or Trey Lance. They played in the games last week, and I can't even see what Zach Wilson went for. I know it was 9 for 11 and 2 touchdowns, but I can't see that on NFL.com. All you do is NFL.
This is literally the butthole's rage of the week. This isn't
Yeah.
even Gage's rage of the week.
No.
And you know what? NFL, you fucking deserve every single bit of it. NFL.com. We should. This
They
is
gotta
the
have
first.
the worst. They have to have the worst fantasy rankings. out of all of
It
them.
was
By
terrible.
far.
It was terrible.
Miserable. You're scrolling. You're like, oh man, I really don't like whoever's at the top of this list.
Michael Pittman
Scroll.
was the top of the list for
Scroll.
4 fucking rounds because
Scroll.
nobody liked Michael Pittman.
No.
What, you gonna take? Why are you gonna take Michael Pittman? You don't know who the quarterback is gonna be for a while.
Why is he ranked wide receiver fucking 20?
Yeah,
He was
why the
54
fuck?
overall.
Yeah, why the
54.
fuck is you going to take Michael Pittman over Cortland Sutton, Odell Beckham? You're going to take him over any running back outside of the first 12 taken.
Do you know who he went to? Auto draft.
Yeah.
Auto draft took him 4 rounds later.
Auto
than he was
draft
ranked.
patches 94? Took
It's
him.
brutal.
Oh.
Yeah. Miserable sight. They're probably asking Bucky Hodges and all the other NFL fucking network fake fans their rankings on these guys, and I just can't stand
It's
it.
fine to say fanboys.
Yeah,
It's
the
fine.
fanboys. They're just
You can say that. We're not going to
they're fuckwads. I don't like them.
Fanboys won't get you canceled.
I think the same people that run Madden also run NFL.com, NFL Fantasy, and the
All of
NFL.
it.
I think it's all the same thing because they don't change a fucking thing until people are outraged, leaving, not dealing with them anymore. And then they're like, hey guys, guess what? I'm going to change this year. Come check it out. And it's such a minor tweak. It's like when your girl comes home and she changes her hair. It's like, nice.
I cut off 1.5 inches, babe. How can't you notice?
1.5 inches is a lot. All right. And with that,
Oh, fucking A.
go jerk off.
Yep.